These super cool plasticine icons. I know you'll ask, and they're from Icon 8, okay, 3D Plastilina, okay, super cool. So let's start with some easy renaming. So I'm going to select these three and I'm going to open the bulk renaming. Now bulk renaming is just the same shortcut, Command R or Control R on a PC, okay, but because we've got multiple things selected, this kind of bulk renaming window opens. Do we need to match anything? Not in this case. I'm just going to rename this. It's going to be icon, and I'm going to use an underscore, and I'm going to say I want some like downwards numbering. Okay, I could delete that, and I could make it's like ascending or descending numbers. That works for me. 1, 2, 3. You can kind of see this. This is interesting-ish. This is code for put a number in descending. I don't know how it works. It's a regular expression, and I kind of can Google my way through making stuff happen. So we'll do a little bit in this video, but just keep an eye on these. These are ways that the computer can find things in our text. Okay, sort through it, organize it. They're called regular expressions. Anyway, let's say, like, we can modify them, like caveman style. Like, it's put in 0, 1. I can put in another N to put in 3, or lots of N's. Okay, you can kind of figure out what it's doing a little bit. So there we go. I want 3, 0, 0, 1. Perfect. Renamed. Bulk renaming gets better when, let's find, these are my original icons here. Okay, these are the main components. So I'm going to rename these. I'm going to select them all, use my same shortcut, Command or Control R. And where bulk rename is really handy is we want to group components using the slash method. Okay, because at the moment, let's have a look at our assets panel. We have all of our stuff just kind of like hanging out in here. And if you've got 1,000 icons, okay, they're just going to end up hanging out here and are quite tricky to use. Some documents will have 100, 200 icons. So what we can do is we can say, all of you people, switch back the layers menu so you can see it. Use my Command R, and I'm going to say, actually, they're going to be, we're going to rename them. We're going to put them in a folder called, well, not folder, but a group called icon, and then use their current name. So $ampersand is the regular expression for current name. So there it's going to put the icons, slash, and then their regular name. This preview is really handy. Now if you did the Essentials course, you'll know that when I do this, and you can kind of see it over here, in my assets panel now, I will have there's my icon. Here we go, page 1. In my main components, I have icon.
Yeah!
One nice little bit. It does make it easier later on when you're going, let's use an instance of this. Okay, and over here, can you see I've got magnifying glass, but in that same little icon group, I can pick the heart, or I can pick the user regular. It's an easy way to switch out between these instances. Okay, just using the forward slash. All right, next thing is that I'm going to use this kind of group of icons. Again, you won't have these, so just grab them from any plugin. Icon 8 is good. And there's loads of free stuff in there. And what I've got here is I've got a solid and an outline mode, okay, of the same icon. There's just times where the solid one is required because, like, we're using outlined. I'm using outlined here because I like the look of them. But there's just going to be times where they're too small against a mixed background. We're actually going to have to pick the solid option. I want the 2 options. So let's do the bulk renaming. Let's select it all. Use Command or Control R to rename them. And I'm going to say, let's add them to the icon folder. You do that by adding the slash. Okay, some people like to have spaces either side of their slash. It doesn't matter. Arguably looks nicer, but it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to say icons are in the icon folder, use the current name. But also, I want to go another level down and say, actually, I want to find a solid version. Copy that. And these ones are going to be the outline versions. Click rename. Let's drag out an instance.
Smurf.
These are actually over here, they're just frames. So it doesn't really matter when you turn these into components, before or after all the naming. I accidentally left mine afterwards, but we're going to create multiple components for days. Now, drag out an instance, and over here now, okay, I've got a little bit better structure. So messiness, tidiness, look, all under icon. Let's say I want to find the delete, okay, and you can see in here I've got an outline or a solid version. And another thing we might do is, let's have a look at the assets panel. It's starting to get messy in here, like our assets panel, our local components. Page 1 and my main components, which is handy at the beginning, inside of icon, inside of bookmark. Now though, I'm starting to get so, actually I want to do something. I want to grab all of these, I'm going to cut them off this page. I'm going to make a new page. Here's my pages. Here we are. Plus, I'm going to have my components page. Now, when should you do this? I do it about this sort of stage. You can do it at the beginning. Just make sure you got a page with all your main components all over here. It can be just a tidier way for you to work. Or if you're like me, I just kind of bump into it and like, oh, this needs fixing. I'm going to spend the next little while getting it working. All right, I'm going to start by making a section or a frame and just rename it and call it icons. So I've got somewhere to put my icons. I'm going to paste my icons in from that other page. Okay, they're my main components. Just double check they've got the right icons, they're not instances. Okay, and there we go. It's just going to be a bit tidier now when you're working with an instance.
Gallery and
My components page. You're an icon. What kind of icon? I need the delete and I need the solid one. There you go. One thing that might happen though is either you're tidying up somebody else's document. Okay, you've opened like the iOS design system or material or something else, and you just need to get rid of. There's like a lot of structure you don't need. Let's say that you're not going to use the solid ones. Okay, so they're gone from your file. What's going to happen now is you've got this kind of separation. You can see outline at the end. We just don't need it, so we can tidy it up. Because at the moment we still have this kind of extra step that we don't need. Okay, so we're going to go. We're going to go into our icons, we're going to say, yeah, give me the delete. And then we're going to go and pick the outline version. There's just one extra step. So, let's grab these, use Command R, and say, I want to find, keep an eye on the preview over here. I want to get rid of all of the outline. Not just outline, but the slash outline. Okay, clean it all up, and I can do that. And I just kind of remove the chunk of that naming convention. Now, I've got an instance that says you are on my components page, you're an icon, and they're just listed. You don't have to go inside of bookmarking, take it one step down. The next thing I want to show you is something to do with regular expressions or regex. I mentioned it earlier, and I'm going to put my hand up and say I don't know a lot about how to code it, but I know it exists and it can be handy. But for me, I need help from the developer to help write some of these search queries. So I've got this example here. We've got the word icon underscore 001. We did that earlier. Okay, so I'm going to rename them all. And what I want to do is switch the